I felt my leg felt good, like I could play. But obviously, at practice, it just wasn't there. Tried to push through it, tried to fight from it, but some things you just can't control, and that's one of those things that we didn't want to push too much.
Didn't it get complicated? Wasn't there an ankle or something during your comeback at some point?
Well, whenever I broke it, there was some ankle stuff that kind of got messed up in there as well. So it just kind of was a never-ending process until everything got healed up together.
How much did you talk to Charlie about? I remember we asked him about it. He had a similar, I guess, very similar injury, right?
I talked to him a little bit right after it first happened, and then there towards the end, whenever I felt, like it was fine to walk on, but I couldn't really push off of it too much. Just seeing if he had the same complications that I did. And, they said everything was normal, so I didn't think too much about it.
How many offensive line snaps did you get last season after your injury when you came back?
Like 2, maybe.
Wasn't the Auburn game?
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't a lot.
And what's it like now then to be back in the mix? I know there's a lot of shuffling on the line, that kind of thing, but how do you feel like you're doing out there?
It's great. I mean, personally, I don't feel any difference. My teammates, I feel like they can see that. And, I think me being out last year allowed us to grow more depth. So, that's only going to help us in the long run.
There's a lot of competition. How do you foresee, kind of things shaking out? I know Kate is, getting a lot of reps elsewhere.
That's a good question. I honestly couldn't tell you. We're splitting the reps about even now, and Coach Pitt's got a good plan of what he wants to do, so he's going to do what he feels like's best, and we just got to roll with it.
Those one-on-one drills, we see videos of them, and they look like pretty massive. I mean, what is it? What is it really all about for you guys when you do those hit drills? Does it just get you fired up, or is it a pride or a unit thing?
It's like Coach Pitt says, we got to start the party. And, that helps us do it at the beginning of practice. So, going out there and hitting somebody in the head, and if that's what it does, and that's what it does.
Jamari Sawyer seems like someone that's taken some strides. What are you seeing from him that you maybe different from last year?
Jamari is unbelievably smart. He's got great football sense, knows the game really well, sees things before it happens, and, he wants to get better. Jamari loves the game, so, he's going to go out there every day and do what he's asked to do. So I think that's going to be his biggest attribution, is just being a flexible player and allowing him to play multiple positions and excel at every one of them.
Are you back to your old self from that injury? Do you ever deal with it in practice? Do you still feel it?
I think I am. It was a little tough at the very beginning of spring, just getting back in the field of things. I hadn't taken a full speed rep in probably 6-7 months. So it was definitely difficult coming back, but I think I got some of the rust knocked off of it now.
Why was it you were able to return on special team, I guess, punt shield? I don't remember if you were on anything else, but why were you able to do that but not the first team?
Because I didn't have to push off at anybody and, move a 340-pound man standing in front of me. On that, I just had to sit there and take a blow. So they felt like I could take up space and keep the punter safe, so that's what we did.
Were you afraid at all of anything that might happen on punch shield or anything?
No, you can't really think about stuff like that whenever you're in there. And, you honestly don't think about stuff like that whenever it's actually in the moment. But, just looking back at it, I don't think that there was ever a time where I was just like, oh, I'm kind of scared to go in here because, something might happen. But I don't think that was the case.
I think you were also getting you were second team a lot. So why were you just not 100%?
No, absolutely
not.
You could see it when I practiced and tried to run. There was still a hitch in my run. I was still limping real bad. So it would have been absolutely pointless for them to put me in the game because I would have been more detrimental to the team than helpful. So I had no problem with sitting out and allowing myself to get back to full health.
You mentioned going up against 340-pound man. I guess Jordan Davis, I think he's one of the guys I've seen you lock up with. Just if you can talk about his progress, and you've obviously gone up against some great D-linemen. Where's Jordan at right now?
Jordan, he honestly might be the most improved player on our team just from whenever he first got in here, working on conditioning, extra stuff after practice. There was, right before spring, he was coming in every single morning working out 3 times a day in order to lose weight and get up to conditioning, that he needed to be at to be successful for us. And he's done it. There's definitely a change in his tempo of practice, seeing him run the ball, seeing him cover down and stuff like that. And, I think all that the extra stuff that he did that, most people wouldn't do. I think that he made those strides, and it's going to help him out.
Speaking of 340-pound men, what's your weight these days?
About 335.
335.
How many games were you on the special teams? Like
First 4 and then like last 4, I think, something like that.
I think one of the teammates, I can't remember who it was, mentioned you were the fastest lineman on the GPS. If you looked at GPS numbers this spring,
We actually did look at them, and me and Andrew Thomas always kind of raced at the beginning of practice to get them up there a little bit. But, yeah, 300, well, I guess once you put pads and everything on, me and him's probably pushing about 350, 355, something like that. And, you know, him and I both are pushing 19 miles an hour, so, you know, that's not too bad. And that hats go off to the strength staff for that one, because that's who gets us in shape for that.
who wins?
faster than some of the position guys. Is there any talk about that?
Nah, I mean, we don't really pay attention. We just kind of see who wins it for the big guys for the day.
What is your